Good evening, everyone. How are you today? It's me, Shane Lee. Um, Now it's time to start doing a little bit of weightlifting and a little bit of karate for the evening. Now, what I'm going to do is show you a few things. Um, First, I'm going to do the weightlifting real quick to get that out of the way and move things around a little bit. Alright, set up the camera here. There you go. I gotta move things around a little bit. Now, the last time I was up to 163. Now, so I'm going to start and do one upright row of the same weight. See if I'm still at that weight comfortably before I go up in weight. Now, if you're not comfortable lifting a lot of weight, you can start out at anywhere from 50 to 100 pounds if you're a male. I'm up to 163 right now, which ain't bad for a disabled veteran with a pelvic injury in the left side and a bad ankle as well. Now that's why I'm doing an upright row versus a bench press, because I don't have again a spotter I can trust living around me right now. And I'm not going to tip the Lord in that. So, anyway, now when you do your upright rows, you want to be in a certain position where you're bent over at a certain angle. Now, your strength comes from your arms and your mid back to your shoulders. Now, what you're doing here is you don't want to do too much weight, but you do want to do enough to demonstrate your strength. And you also want to, it's sort of like a reverse bench press too, because the center of it is your back. So it's to strengthen your mid back to your to the top of your shoulders. So you bend over like this, get the bar firm grip, and lift it up. Now, I got 2, 5, and 10 pounds. Now, I don't know what my max weight is yet, but that was not as difficult. But I don't want to go up too much or too little. So, what I might do is put on like 5 more pounds, which will bring it up to 173. This here is 5 pounds. I'm feeling a little bit of pain in this general area right now. Might, walk it out a little bit. Now, so now I'm at 173. Now, that's about the normal weight of a man that's about 5'10" to 6 foot. 6'10". Depending on his eating habits and his exercise habits and stuff like that. Alright? So like I said before, I'm going to get in position to do the lift. Get the bar. And again, that felt comfortable. So again, now this will be 183. And for now, I might stop there for today. So I'm stretching out a little bit. So this will be 20 more pounds than I did the other day or last week. And when you do it, you don't want to bulk out or hulk out right away. Now this is considered my max weight. What I'm doing here is building up strength to do at least one deadlift or one upright row, and seeing how strong I can get. Now, once I get up to around 200, that becomes the weight of a man from my back, which is the reverse of a bench press, which means I can probably throw a 200-pound man like they do in the WWE if I had to. Alright. So again, I'm getting in position. Now, make sure you bend your knees because you don't want to put undue stress on your lower back, but only in your upper back to your shoulders. Now, this is a purely muscle lift, not using the lower part of my body either, just the upper. It's like a reverse bench press. And there we go with that one. Now I'm going to back this up a little bit for now. And that's so I can do the deadlift. Now the deadlift is around 190. But I don't want to go up to 200 just yet. So what I'm going to do is 195 first, and then see if I'm comfortable with that, and then go to 425 plates. Now what that is making sure before I do that I can handle the weight. And it's safer to go up 5 pounds and be able to do that and then go to 10 and in a gradual increase than to do the 10 and not be able to at all. Like I said before. Alright, this Perco is no good anymore. Now, deadlift is different, but like I said, you got to use your legs and arms and body differently. Now, this is more of a strength test for your whole body, but it's one of the easiest lifts to do. But that's why you can go up to maybe 400 to 500 pounds with a deadlift before bench pressing alone. And that's why I'm doing it this way instead of what they want me to do. I'm going to put my Perco lighter fluid back. So I put it in there. Alright. Alright. Now, okay, might want to just try this again. And start from the previous weight and go up to like 200, maybe say no more than 205. Now, if I hadn't have been such an avid weightlifter when I was younger, I probably still couldn't do this either. Now, when I was younger, I was trying to be like Bruce Lee in my body style. Now, the biggest I got would be between the way I could exercise. Now, when I was going out to Christian Fellowship Church, because they would also have meals for us. We were in the military, in the Navy, and or we would eat on base or stuff like that. Or sometimes Pastor Davis will take us out for hamburgers or whatever. But anyway, the point is, when I didn't exercise like anyone else, I gained weight. I think I went up from 145 going in to about 165 when I was with Pastor Davis in his church. Now that stopped in August of '91. That's when I quit going out there. So I went out there about a year. Now, some of the guys who were in Christian Fellowship Church were also into weightlifting, but they were paranoid they would get obsessed with it, or were getting obsessed with it, and didn't want to keep doing it. But again, that can happen too. What I'm showing you is a disabled person trying to get stronger and stuff like that. Not for my personal glory, but for the glory of God, who can heal all injuries. Or the eternal spirit, or the eternal one, whatever you want to call it. Now, if you remember, Muslims, Muhammad did tell you to read the Law of the Jews, the Book of the Christians, and his own writings. I seem to be the only one doing that today. And I found out what he was trying to tell you in a subtle way. Now, yeah, he said there will be no prophet after him in a way. But if that's true, you cannot add to his writings either. Nor can you privately interpret them. You must take them as they are, or leave them too. Now the problem is, though, Muhammad, because of the Christians and the Jews, got confused with some of the messages of the prophet Jesus. Now, Jesus was big on love, but not Moses or Muhammad. Now, what I'm trying to explain to you there is, Jesus tried to die for the sins of the world. That's why Christians try to honor him for his sacrifice to Allah or God, and they believe Allah or God raised him from the dead. And they give glory to Allah or God for this feat. Now, I too worship the eternal spirit that Muhammad worshipped, Jesus and Moses as well, but this teaches me a true message of love and forgiveness. This teaches me, instead of hating sinners, that we're all sinners. Instead of trying to kill them, try and help them to understand the law, no matter how long it takes. Now, if you're impatient with people and you are pressing your law upon them, no one can understand a different set of rules immediately anyway. Laws take time to integrate into a society anyway. Now, I know you like Sharia law for non-Muslims. But the problem is, no law is perfect because it's made by man, who's trying to act in the place of Allah, or God. And the point is, there's no one good on the earth, not even Muhammad, or Peter, who took over for Jesus when he left, or even Moses himself, who wrote for the Jews. It seems like men want to lie more than they want to tell the truth. Now, I don't condemn any man, myself personally, and I forgive all your trespasses against me. And that's what Jesus taught in his message. And when he was on the cross, part of why Allah, God, raised him from the dead, is he said, "Forgive them, Allah, Father, for they know not what they do." And that's the point. Instead of being angry with them for crucifying him, he forgave them because they didn't understand what he was doing for them. And when Peter took over the church, who denied Jesus 3 times, he denied Jesus to the point that he went to an upside down cross because he was not worthy to tell the truth Jesus told him before he left and went back to be with Allah in heaven. Now the problem is, when Muhammad came along 600 years after, Constantine, the Roman soldier and emperor, took over the Christian church and changed the core beliefs. And there were 2 different core beliefs in his day. One was called Gnosticism, which the Gnostics were trying to have the knowledge of God and know God. Little thing the Orthodox don't want you to think about when they say knowledge. They just think knowledge in general. No, it's not evil, Orthodox Christians. It's knowledge of God. That is never evil, though. But when you want just plain knowledge, you're right. You're right. Knowledge of man is evil, but not knowledge of Allah or God. But the point is, when you do these things, you tip Allah God into responding more like a human being who wants to murder each other than the loving God it might really be. That's why we all 3 believe in Satan, or Satan, or the enemy. All 3 religions have a jinn, or an evil spirit, that attacks us and tries to get us to not follow Allah's way, or God's way. And that's the whole point. And none of us are perfect, because even you cannot keep the Sharia law perfectly, because it even allows you to lie to the non-believers as well, and that's a sin too to Allah. If you're lying to people, you're just as bad as the people you're lying to. Lying even to the Apostle John is worthy of being cast alive into the lake of fire. And he's the only disciple to mention the female breasts of Jesus in the book of Revelation. Meaning Jesus could assume 3 human forms, not 1. Because he metamorphed from 1 to 2 in front of the disciples John, James, and Peter. And also, he changed form in front of the 2 in the country from a form they did not recognize to the one he was originally in before the cross. And Mark and Luke told 2 different accounts, but similar enough to understand that they're backing each other up in the story. Luke thought they just didn't recognize him. But Mark explained, no, he changed form. And there's a big difference there, and it's important to understand that. Alright. Trying to rest a little bit and get ready for the list. Alright, this here is still 190. So anyway, well, like I said, when you do the deadlift, you want your feet a little bit less than shoulder length apart. You want to bend your knees and go down and get a firm grip on the bar, and then lift it up to your stomach level, and then put it back down. Now that's called a clean deadlift, using your arms, your legs, and your whole body to do the lifting. Now, you don't want to lift the box and turn this way. When you deadlift something, you bring it up and then you stand up with it, or you upright row it. Now that's under a certain weight as well. Now you don't want to do that with 50 or 100 pounds. You won't help with that if you need to move it around. Now the reason I'm talking about this is on our ship we had work parties where we would bring in the boxes of goods down the conveyor belt, and you had to pass the packages down the conveyor belt. So my shipmates often send me to the work parties and have me taking the ship instead of really training me as an electrician as well. Alright, this here is 2.5 pounds. This one too. Now, I do have 3 pounds, but the reason I'm doing 2.5 pounds is because I want it to be 195 the next week. Now, if I can do that comfortably, then I'll use 2 25-pound plates, because this is really 22.5 pounds on the end for 195 total. Oops, excuse me. Now, again, I can't make anybody listen to me. No one will. Now, I'm repeat just the words of the prophets before me, trying to tell you the truth. No one wanted to see it. Now, the problem is, if Muhammad lied, and Peter lied, and Moses lied, that means no one is really in the truth anymore. And what we lied about is that God wants to punish us for our sins. Well, if God did that, we will all be in hell. That's why God allows us a human lifespan of at least 120 years to live your life, which is something Moses figured out himself when he was leading Israel out of Egypt. Now, of course, the Egyptians are sometimes sore losers when they lose to another country. So, of course, Ramses, or whoever the pharaoh was at the time, probably tried to destroy the monuments built by the Jews anyway, after they left. Now, the Egyptians also did the same thing with the Queen Hatshepsut as well. And the Muslims are trying to do away with idols or images of other gods. That's not Allah's problem. What Allah's problem is you're not acknowledging all three images. And they're rarely acknowledged in the pantheon of gods. Only the Greeks, the Hindus, and the Buddhists, and certain cultures even believe in androgynous beings. What androgyny means is this is a being that is half male and female in appearance. Now, if Muhammad didn't know about androgynous beings, he himself was not in the full truth when he said some of the things he said. And if the Bible says, according to the Apostle Paul, that every man is a liar, in the book of Romans, that includes your prophet Muhammad. Now that don't mean I don't think everything he wrote was evil. But not everything he wrote was in the whole truth, because no man knows the truth unless he knows everything, and the only one who can know everything is who? Allah God. And unless Muhammad was Allah God and not just a prophet or a man, he can't know everything, right?
Right.
And that's becoming a sin to you Muslims in your way of converting people to Islam. Because you want to behead people and stuff like that. That's evil.
That's evil.
If you don't know it's evil to cut off someone's head, something's wrong with you. If you don't know it's evil to blow someone up with a bomb, there's something wrong with you. And blow yourself up too. If you don't know that, and yet when you do so, you die too. And your body is dismembered and blown to hell. Not heaven, hell. You're being crazier than the Jews or the Christians as well. And you're making your religion look bad and look like a terrorist religion. And that's why some people are afraid of you, like President Trump. And trying to block some of you who are acting like terrorists from coming into the United States. And some people are trying to help you understand our diplomacy, like Miss Clinton or stuff like that. Now, of course, if something happens to Trump, then it goes to Mike Pence. If something happens to Pence, then it goes to Paul Ryan, the Speaker of the House. But since the Republicans are in the majority and they won the election, it will be Paul Ryan who will become president. You know that, right, Hillary? That's the chain of command. Being in the military, I of course know that. Now that'll depend on if Mike Pence knew about the Russian involvement with hacking, which is what is causing Mr. Trump a problem now. Or President Trump a problem now. Whatever you want to call it. But the point is, he's doing what he thinks is right, as is everyone else in this country. And even if you think he's wrong, again, it's his right to be wrong, as long as he's trying to follow the policies and rules of the country. And no human being is perfect, not even Mr. Trump. Now, he's feeling like he's being in a witch hunt himself, which I understand the feeling, because people are trying to still, after 22 years, insinuate, while now sleeping on the couch, that something sexual could have happened between me and my stepdaughter, who would have to wake me up while I was on the couch. That don't even make sense. It didn't to my wife, who said it never happened.